Beuh, healer banget gak tuh. Jadi kali ini gue bakalan ngebocorin resep dari Yosi Enyoy guys. Ya udah langsung aja kita masak. Oke, let's go. Pertama langsung kalian tumis aja nih bawang putih dan bawang bombay hingga loyo dan lemas kayak gini guys. Untuk daging yang gue pakai ini daging shortlet dengan kualitas premium yang gue beli di Tokopedia. Nama tokonya si Beku guys. Dan mereka menjual berbagai jenis perdagingan mulai dari steak, leher. Kalau kalian mau nyari si otong kayak nggak ada guys, mohon maaf. Dan untuk dagingnya ini daging import loh guys, tapi bisa murah banget karena mereka merupakan distributor tangan pertama guys. Dan untuk harganya mulai dari 30 ribuan aja. Habis itu tinggal dibubuin aja nih dagingnya. Lalu kalian masak aja hingga bumbunya meresap kayak gini. Habis itu masukin bawang bombay dan dikucurutin dengan larutan maizena biar makin KNTL guys. Wih lah, langsung kalian beli aja dagingnya di Tokopedia. Udah harganya murah, kualitasnya premium lagi, dan pasti rasanya mantap. Pokoknya kalian wajib banget recook, jangan lupa tag gua dan selamat mencoba.
Yo, that's good. That's actually good. I was not expecting that.
Let's make Mongolian beef today. My dad owned a Chinese restaurant when I was younger, and this dish was the customer's favorite, and mine too. It's so flavorful, tender, and juicy. His secret is this marinade, and when finished mixing, add oil at the top to keep the meat juicy, then marinate for at least 30 minutes. Stir fry is quick, so make sure to prep your onions, garlic, and pepper beforehand. In high heat, fry your beef in a good amount of oil until golden brown, then set aside. Fry dried red pepper and garlic together until you see the red pepper brown up, then fry onions until translucent, then add the beef back in. Fry the green onions for a quick minute, add soy sauce and sugar. Here you can see my dad show some cool flips. This dish goes perfect with some rice, and I hope you enjoyed my dad's recipe.
Hey mob, it's Sophie, and today I'm bringing you one of my takeaway favourites, crispy chili beef, coming right up. Start by very thinly slicing 2 steaks, then cutting them in half again so you have thin strips. Add your steak to the bowl, crack in an egg and mix it up. Add your corn flour along with a good pinch of salt and some white pepper, then mix it till it's all combined. Heat some oil in a wok on a high heat, then fry your beef in batches until it's super crispy and golden. Thinly slice an onion, some spring onions and a red chilli. Grate your garlic and ginger, then fry your onions for 2 minutes until soft. Get your spring onions, chilies, ginger and garlic in the pan and fry for another couple of minutes. Add sugar, ketchup, sriracha, soy sauce and rice wine vinegar, then give it a good mix. Let it bubble up. Add your beef back into the pan, then give it a good mix until it's all lovely and hot and coated in the sauce. Serve it up with some egg fried rice and tuck in. Hope you enjoy this as much as I do.
Okay, this beef and broccoli recipe was unbelievably good and super easy to make. That beef was so tender and that sauce came out perfect. Slice your beef into 1/4-inch strips and marinate for at least 15 minutes with oyster sauce and baking soda to get it nice and tender. Next, premix your sauce, being sure to use warm chicken stock to help dissolve your sugar before adding it to the final dish. Blanch your broccoli for 30 seconds and drain. Then get your pan ripping hot and sear your beef in some neutral oil. Use that same oil to fry your ginger and garlic for 15 seconds and deglaze with Shaoxing wine. Add in your sauce and reduce slightly, then thicken with cornstarch and add back your beef and broccoli. Serve this with a hot bowl of rice and enjoy.
You want your meat to fall apart like this? It sounds like a lot of work, but it's actually super easy. We're just gonna grab our short ribs, salt it, and sear it on all sides. And then they just need a sauce to hang out in. So I'm gonna cook down some onions, garlic, thyme, red wine, and beef stock. I personally like to pre-blend my sauce, then I just throw in the meat and toss that in the oven for about 4 hours. So it sounds like a long time, but it's not like I just stared at the oven for 4 hours. Then we just plated up with some mashed taters, mushrooms, the meat, sauce, and then grab some fresh microgreens, freshly cut. And now we have a beautiful dinner for one that you could eat with a spoon.
Cheers.
Join me and let's make some beef salpicao. First, I peeled 1.5 garlic bulb, and then we thinly slice everything since gusto natin gumawa ng garlic chips as our garnish para mas presentable yung ating beef salpicao. For the mushroom, of course, we are using Narcissus mushroom. And then cut nyo lang to into half. For salpicao, we usually use tenderloin for this, but this time I am using a 4/4 dahil mas mura and gusto natin ng mas malitid para mas flavorful yung ating salpicao. Then in a bowl with your cubed meat, add your coarsely ground pepper, 1/3 of your garlic, 2 tablespoons oyster sauce, and 5 tablespoons Worcestershire sauce. Then we just mix it until everything is well incorporated. So in a pot, add canola oil, butter, all of your garlic to make garlic chips, then set aside. Then we add our marinated beef and cook until tender for at least 1.5 hours, then add our mushroom. This recipe for Noche Buena.
Best crispy meat pie. Flour, teaspoon of salt, warm water, oil, until it forms into a ball. Rest for 30 minutes. Ground beef, green onion, add in onion, oyster sauce, soy sauce, black pepper, ginger, water, mix together, roll it out, 8 pieces, roll it out. This 2.5 tablespoons of filling. Fold up all the ends, bring all ends in until it's fully cold. Flip, and it's ready. Pat on some water, white and black sesame seeds. Add in the pancakes, pan fry for 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, we're just gonna flip, low heat for another 3 to 4 minutes.
So here's my homemade take on crispy chili beef, proper indulgence. Get yourself some beef. I'm using sirloin for mine, but if you're feeling skint, get yourself a cheaper cut. Whatever you want to use, whatever you can get hold of, it's absolutely fine. Cut up into thin strips, and now let's set up 3 bowls. Into the first bowl, 1 cup of corn flour, generous amounts of salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic powder. Into the second bowl, the exact same. Then into the third bowl, 2 eggs, and give them a mix. Get your beef into the first bowl of flour and give it a generous coating. Should look something like this. Now you want to get all this beef and get it into the egg. Give it a good mix around. Make sure it's all coated in the egg. Now you want to get all this into your second bowl of flour. Just a word of warning, it's bloody messy. Corn flour seems to just get absolutely everywhere. It's up my walls and everything, look. Give it a generous coating. Should look something like this. I've got my deep fry set on the high setting. Just get the beef in there. I'm going to fry it for about 5 to 6 minutes until it's nice and crispy. And just look at that. Good enough to eat on its own. Now for the sauce then. So screaming hot pan. Add your oil. As soon as it starts to smoke, add 1 onion, 2 peppers, 2 chilies, and strips of a carrot. Give it a toss for a minute. And then add a little bit of MSG just for a bit of controversy. Give it a toss. Add some minced garlic. Give it a good stir. Now I'm adding 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Just let it bubble away for about a minute. You're going to think I've gone fucking crazy, but just trust the process. 2 tablespoons of brown sauce, 2 tablespoons of ketchup. Let it bubble away until it's sticky and thick. Then add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a little bit of honey, and then add the crispy beef. Give it a good mix. Finish with some spring onions, a little bit of chilli, and just look at that. Bon appetit.